just felt like something is off? With our relationships today. It's a weird feeling, right? We're more connected than ever, technically, but there's this strange unease in the air. Well, today, we're going to try and diagnose that exact feeling using some incredible insights from relationship coach Yasser Al-Hazimi. Okay, so to get to the bottom of this, we have to start with one simple but absolutely unbreakable rule. Every single relationship you have, from your family to your friends to your coworkers, is built on a foundation of need. Now, that might sound a little cynical, but it's not. It's just human. This mutual need is the very glue that holds us all together. Now, this is where it gets really fascinating. How has modern life messed with this rule? Al-Hazimi tells this amazing story about a 114-year-old man. Someone asked him, who's a good person? And his answer is so telling. He said, you know what? Everyone today is a good person, as long as they have money. Think about that. We don't have to put up with a difficult neighbor to borrow a cup of sugar anymore because we can just go buy it. Our independence has changed the game completely. And that leads us right into our first big idea, the modern relationship paradox. Or, to put it another way, our relationships have become more comfortable, but at the same time, way less safe. Let's break that down. I mean, really think about it. That glue of need we were just talking about, it's pretty much dissolved. Between technology and our own financial independence, we can get almost anything we want without having to rely on the people right next to us. And sure, that makes life easier, it's definitely more convenient, but what's the cost? We've lost that deep-seated security that came from knowing you were truly needed by your community and that you needed them right back. Our relationships feel comfortable, yeah, but they also feel disposable. So if our relationships out there in the world feel so fragile, where do we even begin to look for the cause? Well, the argument is that you have to start with the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. The philosopher William James had this brilliant way of showing just how complex this is. He said that anytime two people meet, there are actually 6 people in the room. There's the person you think you are, the person they think you are, and then the person you actually are. And the exact same thing is true for them. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? You can see why there's so much room for misunderstanding. And here is the absolute key. The bigger the gap between the person you're pretending to be and the person you really are, the more internal friction that creates. That disconnect, it's a breeding ground for shame, for feelings of unworthiness, and even for depression. It forces us to build all of our connections on a fake foundation. And is it any wonder they feel so shaky? So if we want to close that gap, we have to get honest with ourselves. And that starts with knowing the huge difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is real. It's a belief in a skill you actually have built on experience. Arrogance, on the other hand, is just hot air. It's a belief in an ability that just isn't there. It's based on ignorance, and it will always end in disappointment. Okay, so beyond just our relationship with ourselves, there's another pillar that can ground our relationships and give them a meaning that goes way beyond a simple transaction. And that is the spiritual anchor. Having some kind of spiritual compass just fundamentally changes the game. It creates this awareness of a watchful presence. Suddenly, your interactions aren't just between you and another person. They become part of a trade with something much bigger. Kindness stops being a strategy to get what you want and becomes a real virtue. It gives you the capacity for a level of forgiveness and patience that a purely transactional life just can't support. All right, let's zoom back out and see how all of this connects to the world we're living in. Al-Hazimi uses this really powerful metaphor for it. He says, our lives are like a fast-moving train. This train is modern life, and it is moving so fast that most of us don't even bother to check our destination. We just go along for the ride. We adopt the trends, the ideas, the lifestyles without even thinking about it. We're having all these experiences, but without any real awareness, they don't really count for anything. We're just passengers, not the ones driving the train. And this high-speed journey produces what he calls civilization's waste. And it happens in a really clear chain reaction. First, you get individualism, which puts us all on our own little isolated islands. Once we're isolated, it's really easy to start seeing other people not as human beings, but as numbers or tasks. That's dehumanization. And what's the end result of all that? Our relationships become purely contractual. So let's really define this idea of contractualism. What is it? It's when a relationship gets boiled down to a strict agreement, a contract. I do this for you, you do that for me. We're only accountable for what was explicitly agreed upon. And in that world, A rigid sense of justice becomes way more important than things like kindness, forgiveness, or just basic humanity. It completely strips the soul out of our connections. Now, I know, hearing all of this can feel a little bleak. But the main takeaway here is not despair, it's empowerment. Because we still have the power to make a conscious choice. We can decide how to act, even when we're on this fast-moving train. And the way to do that comes down to a simple but incredibly profound shift in your mindset. You have to stop focusing on what is done to you, because you can't control that. Instead, you put all your focus on what you do, because that is the only thing you will ever have control over. This is how you go from being a passive passenger to a conscious actor in your own life. So, what does this choice look like day to day? You can think about it like a hierarchy of manners. The most basic level is just reciprocation. You're good to me, so I'm good to you. Tit for tat. A step up from that is kindness. You're mean to me, but I'm still good to you. Even better is when you treat someone according to your own highest principles, no matter what they do. But the absolute best, the highest level, that's when you treat others with the same mercy and generosity that you hope to receive yourself. So really, that's what it all comes down to. The train of modern life is going to keep pushing us towards contracts, towards efficiency, towards seeing people as numbers. So knowing that, the final question is for you. In a world that runs on contracts, are you going to settle for mere justice, or are you going to choose humanity?